I am Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Entertainment. Well, we're here to give you our review of the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. So let's get into it. So those of you who know, have watched our reviews, we give you our initial thoughts, then we tell you what we like about the movie, what we don't like about the movie, and finally we give you our rating. And we will keep this
our very special rating system.
Yes, it is.
You'll come to love it if you're new around here.
Yes, we will keep this spoiler free until the very end, and we will tell you tune out if you've not seen the movie at this point. So feel welcome to watch this if you've not seen the movie, because again, we will tell you, and we are going to get into a little bit of spoilers down the road. So initial thoughts. What did I think about this movie? Coming out, the first one came out in 1984. It's been a while since we had Ghostbusters. We're just going to skip over the extended SNL skit of 2016. And anyway, so this one truly follows the Ghostbuster franchise. And so my initial thoughts of this movie, I loved it. I genuinely, I really loved this movie. So Natalie, what are your initial thoughts?
My thoughts are it was a lot of fun.
Okay, there. That's yes.
Yeah. So that's
that would describe that.
That's a way to describe a movie, right?
Well, it's a good way to describe it. So let's get into what we liked about this movie. For me, again, I loved it. I most things genuinely had like a smile on my face watching most of this movie. To me, it did it was very good at feeling, it truly felt like the Ghostbusters movie, but yet totally unique. It was like true to the Ghostbusters, but yet totally its own thing. And it somehow they did, I think, credit to the director. It felt, even and the music too, one of the best scores I've heard in a long time, I feel like, in a movie. But they did such a good job of the way 80s movies kind of slow down in certain scenes and let a scene breathe. And really,
I thought that too. Almost even when I remember watching the trailer, I kind of thought, did they set this movie in the 80s? Because it had
that feel
to
and
it.
The way they used to kind of follow people with cool music behind it. Like it truly,
I like that.
It did. When we left the theater, I said it was like an 80s movie made today, modernized for today. And I really enjoyed that because it kind of had that magic that some of those 80s movies could capture, like E.T., like an E.T. or things like that. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I loved the new cast that was in it. Especially the standout for me was the little girl played by, I think McKenna Grace is her name, but she played Phoebe in this story. And she's the very intelligent one. She's just a little science nerd, but a little genius. And her very dry humor, like, always landed for me. And throughout the movie, she has like these really dry jokes that somehow always made me laugh because they were so bad. They're so bad, and the movie's aware like they're really bad.
We've all been there when somebody tells a joke and it's so bad
that it's funny. Yeah, yes, and the other kids did a good job too. Of course, Finn Wolfhard plays her older brother, and then Podcast is her friend that she meets in the small town in Oklahoma that they are, where they have found what their grandfather left for them. And anyways, I enjoyed all that. I like Paul Rudd, but I thought this was this was like the best role I've seen Paul Rudd in a long time. Like he was made for this role. Like it was a great role for Paul Rudd.
He was really good in it.
He was funny. He was that teacher that like you would love to have if you had him.
Let's just say there were a couple parts of him teaching that just genuinely cracked me up.
Yes, there's some. I mean, the humor is very good in this movie.
Dryness.
Yes, the humor fits. It has that, which I love too, which was what was so unique about Ghostbusters in 1984. It also has like, it's a mixture of comedy and some little creepy elements that I really enjoy in this setting. So kind of the ghost situation in this really worked for me.
And some of the ghosts, I will say, they were pretty creepy.
They were.
Like the voice.
Yes, and there's some ghosts that are back from the first Ghostbusters movie that were a lot of fun to see again in this. And the comedy worked for me all across the board. Really enjoyed that aspect. And then this is a movie where I truly believe they did the nostalgia in a awesome way.
Yeah.
Like when you see the car and they barely lift it up and you barely see it. I guess that's technically kind of spoilers right there. Well, no, you've seen that in the trailer. It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But just the way, or her going through and seeing the Ghostbusters suits, like the way they did the nostalgia in this really worked for me. And I think if you are a big fan of the 1984 or of Ghostbusters, then you're really going to like this movie, because to me it does an excellent job of paying homage to what has come before it, while also introducing characters that you grow to care about in this 2-hour long movie. And yeah, I thought it did great. Natalie, anything else that you really liked in this movie?
I mean, I basically agree with most of what you said. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was. And there's some things I'm saving that I'll have to say for spoilers towards the end. But yeah, that just everything about it. And again, I love that it feels so true to Ghostbusters while also being its own movie, because where the Ghostbusters is a group of men in their like late 30s or 40s, this is mostly kids working with their mother and then Paul Rudd's character. But so they totally change it, but yet again the DNA of it feels so right. It's so Ghostbusters, and it just kind of felt, again, it felt like a throwback to me of a movie that we would have gotten in the past that we don't get much today. And I love that. I love that aspect of this movie. And again, I love the score. The score, I noticed it, especially in those moments that were kind of slower. Awesome score. The music was great throughout this movie. So things that I didn't like. Well, there's really nothing I can say I didn't like. Is this a perfect movie? No, it's not a perfect movie. But there's nothing that stands out to me like, man, I really didn't like that.
Yeah, no.
So that's kind of that.
Besides the voice.
No, but that's part of Ghostbusters. Like
Okay.
that's a part of it. To me, that made me laugh. Like I liked it.
Well, it made me laugh because I was uncomfortable.
She's never seen Ghostbusters, so.
But well, I did as a kid, but I don't remember it very well.
But anyways, so our final rating, what do we give? We rate on a Hoot system, and we're going to go ahead and rate this guy's first, and that way we can talk spoilers after rating. So out of 5 Hoots, I give this movie, I give it 4.5 Hoots. Like I genuinely think, again, it was not a perfect movie, but it was really, really good. I enjoyed everything about this movie. And again, it just kind of felt nostalgic in a way that I really appreciated. So 4.5 Hoots for me. Natalie?
I'm going to go with 4 Hoots.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid movie. It is. It is. And again, if you love Ghostbusters, if you even just liked Ghostbusters, I think you would enjoy this movie. So that's our rating. But now we're going to get into a little spoilers here. So if you've not seen the movie, you can stop watching now and you can come back after you've seen the movie.
And or remember to be a force of light.
Yeah. Or if you're just one of those people who doesn't care to spoil a movie, you can stay. We'll talk about it. So
I'm one of those.
So big spoilers in this movie. The scene we all wanted. So towards the end of the movie, the little girl, she's struggling with the ghost that's there, and I was just like I hit my niece on the, or I mean, nudged her on the elbow. That's the word I was looking for. And I was like, the Ghostbusters are going to show up. And you just felt it. You're like, they're going to come. And of course, boom, there's the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And even the way they paid homage to, I'm blanking on his name, the gentleman that passed away that played, he played Egon. Egon, is that his name in the first one? But anyways, they just did a good job of paying homage to them and giving them this scene. And it was kind of back to like Star Wars, where we all wanted Luke to arrive and during The Force Awakens, but this time they actually give that to us, and they let the Ghostbusters show up on the scene at the nick, like just when we need them to show up. So that was a pretty cool scene. Are there any other spoilers or anything?
Not what I can think of.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much the big spoiler. I didn't want to say that for a non-spoiler. Yeah,
but it's a really fun moment. You don't want to ruin that for somebody.
No, it was one of those scenes that if you're a big Ghostbuster fan, you're going to be so excited when that happens and when you see them. So that was cool. And then there are 2 post-credit scenes, And I really enjoyed the first one, just getting Sigourney Weaver back. I really enjoyed seeing her in this again.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. So that's kind of it, though. That's kind of our thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife. Again, I really enjoyed it. I recommend seeing this movie, even if you're just a casual fan of Ghostbusters. Or you may like it even if you haven't. I don't know, but you'll definitely appreciate it more if you've at least seen the first Ghostbusters movie. But that's our thoughts on Ghostbusters Afterlife. What are yours? Share your thoughts below. And if you are not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light.